I'm going to talk to y'all about a real subject that, I rarely talk about. I don't know, not even rarely, that I would never talk about. I haven't talked about to anybody, but I'm vlogging and everything, and you seen my life, but I feel as though you can't know me until you know my past. That's why I became who I am now. When I was younger, my firstborn actually, my father's name is Kevin Smith, and that was my birth name, Kevin. My birth name actually was Kevin Kimberly Smith Jr. Yes, I had a female middle name. I used to hate it. I was a junior. And what I hated about that was I never seen my father. To this day, I haven't seen my father. I talked to him once. Talked to this man once, and that was back in 1990, no, 2001 actually. He called me from jail one time. We talked a little bit. He said he was sorry, and I just brushed it off. I had no feelings for this man. Like, how do you care for somebody you never met, never knew of? Someone that you felt like never knew you, never cared about you. So it was hard to even, take this man serious. But ever since that day, I haven't spoke to him again, haven't seen him. And now that I'm older, I do want to see how he looked. That's the only thing that I will kind of regret if it doesn't happen. Me seeing a picture, not too dwelling on seeing him in person because I really don't care. But seeing why I look the way I look. I know, like, if I show you a picture of my mother, which I'll probably do that later on down the road, she and I look like identical, but she's darker than me. We look very much alike. Yeah, he left when I was born, before I was born actually, and my mother raised me. I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I was born in Columbus Hospital in Newark, New Jersey. Moved to East Orange, New Jersey when I was around like 2 or 3. Lived there for a few years. Then came down to South Jersey, down in Burlington, New Jersey. And that's when like stuff was really getting real. Everything was good for a couple years, She had another kid, which was my little brother Eddie, and his dad was like around financially, He was still doing some other stuff. He used to beat on my mother and stuff, but he was around. And the reason why he did that stuff was just, I was young at the time, so I didn't know the full extent. But my mother, she used to do drugs. She used to be, I won't say heavy on drugs, but at times she was and at times she wasn't. So I'm pretty sure the extent of them fighting domestic abuse was because of that aspect of it. And I don't know who was in the wrong, who was in the right, but I do know it is wrong to be hitting on a woman, and I never condone that. But some things that I have seen and some things I have been through that, I wouldn't even want the worst person in the world to deal with. But yeah, and she used to smoke a lot of cigarettes, drink a lot of Pepsi, which I ain't saying Pepsi is like the worst thing in the world, but smoking is not condoned by me. I made a promise to her because she passed. She got cancer back in '96. She got cancer, and doctors told us that she wasn't gonna live long. October 19th, I believe. Don't quote me on the day because I was young, one, and I don't try to dwell on that day too much, or that year actually. I believe it was October 19th, 1997. I know the year and I know the month. My mother passed from cancer, and I made promises to her that I will always be by my brothers. I always take care of them, and they'll always take care of me. And I would never smoke anything, like just never smoke. And those two promises I'm still doing, and I haven't done. I haven't smoked, and I'm still being there for my brothers and trying to take care of them when they need me. As far as after that, my little brother, and the father that I was telling you that they was like going all at it. They his mom, my grandmother, adopted me right after, and my mom wanted her to adopt me. So she adopted me, and she took care of me really good. Like, that life was better than the life that I was living, and I mean, that was a blessing in disguise. I thought that I should be with my older brother who lived back in East Orange with my other family and the family that I did know, like my blood family. But she took really good care of me, and one thing that I did ask God for, was for her to stay alive, at least until I showed her, and to take care of her, or show her that I made it. And he kept my grandmother alive until I was 20. I want to say 21, 22. Kept her alive until I became a man. I didn't quite get to where I wanted to be financially and like making it wise, but she did see that I had a goal, and she was like that woman figure that I needed when I was younger. My mom left. When she passed, I was done. Like, I was young. I was like 9 or 10, but it hit me harder than any 9 or 10-year-old could get hit off of that. Like, it changed my whole mentality. Like, I became just this, not evil. I shut down, and the only people I was looking for was women. Like, I really became a womanizer. Like, I always needed a female to talk to keep company, because if I didn't have that, like, it felt like I was missing something, and I was always missing my mother. And it took me a long time to realize why I used to always do the things that I do. I used to treat women like they was all my girl, and that was wrong. Even when I was in relationships, I treated other women the same way, and I got a couple women hurt by that, and I told my mother I wouldn't have done that. So I broken one thing that I told my mom I wouldn't do, and that was a hard lesson for me. It hit me hard, and it took me a while to recover from hurting women. I had to really like sit back and get away from relationships and actually learn how to treat a woman right and how I would want to be treated. It took a while, but I learned that lesson, and I'm still growing from that. But what I was, after my grandma passed, I was just really, it was like kind of a hard road. I was still going on to my dreams and aspirations, but it was slow because of my mentality. Like, losing people. I don't know if you heard this poem, but it's called Inside Out. You can check it. It's like one of my first poems. I say a line that losing people I love is something I'm scared of. Losing people I love is something I'm scared to see, and it's true. Like, me losing people I love, that's like my worst fear. I hate losing people I love. I try to keep my emotions bottled and not really be all emotional with it, because I feel like it's a girly type of thing. And I usually show my emotions in poems or other ways like that. But when it comes to losing people, like, I can't deal with it good. I don't know how to deal with death. Like, I don't do that well. But let's see. So then comes to now. Me now. I'm 25. I'm working. I have a little kid, little son. He's actually the little kid on my outro videos. He, you know, and then I have two interesting ones. the breakdancer and Lily, and the one that talks about Spider-Man, Mr. Alex. He's a funny one. But yeah, you know, I try to be a good dad. I try to be a good man. I try to be everything that I can do. I try doing plus 10. You know, even when you're down, I try to be better. I try to think positive all the time, because there's a lot of negatives in this world, a lot of negatives. But positivity outbrings negative. It's not like in math. That's why like I don't really dwell on mathematics too much when it comes to life. Mathematics was my favorite subject, but in mathematics, two negatives, you multiply negatives, it makes a positive, and that's not true in life at all. You multiply a bunch of negative things you're doing, it's not gonna make a positive. But you can turn negatives into positives by being positive thinking and positive about the outlook of your life. So my upbringing was hard and rough until about like 14, 15. That's when my grandma came into my life, and she really changed things around. That, and you know, the area that I was growing up in. I grew up in up north, and then I grew up in South Jersey. Like those two was two different aspects in life. You know, you have the city life, and then you have the suburbs, and it's like you can't bring the city life to the suburbs, because thinking of that mentality can get you in trouble and have you in a bad road. So I bring the mentality of getting out from the city to the suburbs, but I never brought the watch your back, paranoia and everything, and you gotta stay strapped when I came back down here. But what at the end of the day, all I'm saying is that, you know, this was my life and how I had to overcome and things I had to go through. I know there's plenty of people out there that's a worse life than me. That's why I say I can never talk about how bad my life is and be down about how bad my life is right now, because there's someone always out there that with a worse life than you. You can be complaining to the death of you, but there's someone out there right now worse than you. Like, I could have no job, no money, blah, 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 living outside, but there's somebody that lost everything, can't walk, can't talk, can't speak, can't hear. I said can't speak. Talk and speak is the same thing, but can't hear. And they lost everything. They don't have nothing. So just be thankful for the things you do have and stop dwelling on the things you don't have. I mean, this has been my life, and I wanted y'all all to know that. And to see, you know, my background, because you're seeing my present. So hopefully, you know, y'all like and share this, and you know, just stay here with me. So I promise that I will continue sending y'all videos and continue being consistent with my poems and everyday life. I love all y'all that, you know, actually supports me. I have mad love for y'all. And I'm KB, and I'm out.
Money we love making, see my name in lights. Until then I'll be waiting, until that day come, I'll be on vacation. For that money and that dream, we always gonna be chasing. Me and my team, ain't no one replacing. The lights flash, the nights glow. Just sip some champagne and feel right, yo. Let the wind blow your hair, let your mind go. The time stands still as I ride slow.
The lights flash, the nights glow. Just sip some champagne and feel right, yo. Let the wind blow your hair, let your mind go. The time stands still as I ride slow. It's Urban Outfitter time, and then we smash Gucci, cause I feel in my prime. Philly to Miami, got this cruise on my mind. Hopping off the plane, yeah, we always first in line. Yo, polo kick still showing, even cut with the waves, throw the Ray-Bans on. Step up in the